me, Mario.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Playing with Pixels video. I'm Mitch and joining me is Russell, who is melting.
It's a me, a Mario.
Do not let the me melt because it's 40 something degrees. Yeah, so if you haven't noticed, Australia's on fire. Fire north of me in Perth. Fire pretty much, not many in Victoria, but like New South Wales is very on fire. And what's also on fire is Nintendo, not really. But on this video we're going to talk about what can we expect from Nintendo in 2020, which isn't a lot. And when I say expect, I don't mean expect, I mean mostly just make up shit as we go along, and there are some facts in here.
He's making it up as he goes along.
So the first thing we know is Tokyo Mirage Sessions, hashtag FE Encore. Is that how you say it?
I guess.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore.
As far as I would go, but yeah, it does have the hashtag thing on it.
I'm saying the full names because that is a thing we can expect it to release under that full name. It is the Wii U game coming to Switch because, you know, the Wii U was a complete and utter failure, so move everything over.
It's literally like a Fire Emblem Persona combination-only type game.
Yeah. Persona Emblem.
I never played it, but I wanted to. Where it's just like, this game is interesting. It's like a weird pop star, turn-based RPG, story game. It's like, it's weird. It's definitely weird.
And that has my curiosity, so I'm pretty like, yeah, it's different. Probably haven't played anything like it, but I want to check it out because there's not a lot here that we know of. So the next one is a series that people absolutely love and adore. We haven't really played them. I had the console that it came out on, but Animal Crossing New Horizons is out next year. Look, you're going to get annoyed at us for having very little to say on this, but it looks like everything I've seen from Animal Crossing.
It's one of those genres where like you see it, I immediately understand what the game is, and no, it's not something that appeals to me in any way, shape, or form. So, sorry, as excited as some people might be about this game, this just doesn't interest me. It's like, this is a nothing out of me. I'm glad I can just avoid it. That's the event. I'm like, well, I can skip over that one.
I think it could be one of the games I like because I got into Minecraft weirdly a lot. Like, I play that game a load. But Animal Crossing I'm less like sure about because I don't really, you know, it's probably not my kind of game either, but the amount of people who love it, who you wouldn't expect would be a huge fan of Animal Crossing that like it, it's like, maybe I'll give it a go. Maybe if Nintendo gives me a code. But they don't. They do not.
What was your release date again for that one?
The March 2020. It's a good date. 2020.
Yeah.
A lot of
20s. There's nothing else in March.
No, it's all on its little lonesome. The final thing, well, there's actually two more things we definitively know are coming out next year is Super Smash Bros. DLC. And this is probably the funnest thing to talk about because I don't know who it is. Nobody knows who it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's been leaks and things, but I think the leaks were proven wrong way back when. Although I think accurate in some ways. I can't remember now.
I don't remember them, so we're not going off leaks. We're going on for what we can come up with right now.
Yeah, but for the most part, yeah, it's they've got one more to announce. Who knows what it could be, man? I mean, it's got to be exciting because they've set the precedent with every other one to be exciting.
Yeah, so, the last one I didn't really care for, but it's still cool to be in there. But like, Banjo is like, whoa.
I definitely like the aspect of bringing fighting game characters from other games together
into a fighting game.
I think it actually, exactly, it makes more sense logically. Like, oh, get a fighting game character, put him in the game. But yeah, no, it's of course not as exciting
Sub-Zero.
as Joker or Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, I think because of how Microsoft's been playing ball, it's probably going to be a Microsoft IP again. I mean, I guess the Banjo is already.
Yeah, but it's like,
will you get Master Chief?
Does Master Chief even fit? And it's like, I'd love to see him in there just because. What does that mean? What's his final smash? Is it the Pillar of Autumn firing a Mac round at them? Like, oh, Halo Reach might be coming to the Switch as well. There's rumors, but like having Master Chief on there would be ridiculous. Yeah, like, does he pull out dual SMGs and energy sword? Like, he's a cool character. Like, there's a lot he can do.
Yeah, it would be definitely be weird. I mean, I'd love for it to be a Sony character. I just feel like Sony just won't play ball, and you won't see. No. I mean, you could indirectly see something because maybe Activision will play ball, and you'll get Crash or Spyro or something, and you go, that's kind of a Sony IP, I guess.
Oh, imagine like really. The last DLC is a few of them. It's just like here's Crash, here's Spyro.
Oh yeah, like a bundle thing. Yeah, that would be pretty badass. Like, yeah, they could do that. They'll go, oh, we promised one more, but we decided to give you two for one.
No, but they don't. They do the one for the original characters, like Crash. They show them off. But at the end, you just hear like the gem noise, and then like the
well, I mean,
the
there's
sheep.
also, funny everything else done. You go, oh, like there'll be a assist trophy, and there's the stage and all this other stuff, of course, that ties in.
Yeah,
I mean,
but like
with all the DLC they've had so much music. That's the only reason why I don't think it'll be Square Enix. Like, I'd like for Sora for Kingdom Hearts, or maybe another Final Fantasy character someone to come in, but the fact that Final Fantasy VII is kind of it, and they've got like 3 tracks, goes like, Square Enix clearly didn't play that much ball.
Yeah, like,
otherwise you would assume. With these other games, like I can't even remember how many were Castlevania. It was ridiculous. It was like 50 tracks or something.
And I remember a couple. The Final Fantasy music, you haven't even played the games that you know some of the songs. Like for me, I know you've played all of them, but
yeah, but it's definitely just like it's probably one of, if not one of the best video game music soundtracks ever for Final Fantasy games. It's like we've got 3 tracks. You're like, what?
Yeah, you're just like okay.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it definitely would be a character from a returning IP. Like something that's already in there. I would think it'd be brand new.
Yeah, no. I think Nintendo set the precedent. Who knows with that second season what that's going to be? That might be more of that. You'll get a character that should have been in there, like Waluigi or something.
Waluigi.
But yeah, this last one will be something from another third-party company.
Yeah, what that is by the time. Yeah, you'll probably find out in early 2020. So, for sure, probably want to do a video on that. I guess. Don't know who with, but I'll be doing one. The only other thing we know we can expect is I was going to say Xenobrode. Like, what the hell is...
Xenobrode Chronicles 2.
Hey, bro, how you doing? Surf's up. No, we got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which is the second time it's come out. It's kind of redone since the Wii.
This one's more substantial, though. Like
definitely. The 3DS one doesn't count.
Yeah, it was more like a port kind of thing. I think they did do some upraising.
This is a port, though.
It's more of a port. Yeah, this is also a port, but more substantial, I'd say. Unless it is using that. I'm not even sure. But anyway, it's one of those ones where like a lot of people says excellent. I really liked... I mean, it's one of those things where the acting was pretty bad, but you kind of got used to it. It was weird. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where it's like, I got used to the acting that was bad, but then liked it because the music was really good, and I liked the combat.
Yeah, and the words. I mean, that was the most glaring thing that I noticed. It's just like... Yeah, these voice acting is just like, hello, my name's Blue... Dude, what's his name? Rex? No, it starts with R, doesn't it?
Rex, yeah, it's Rex.
Rex. And he's a dinosaur. Xenoblade Chronicles always look cool to me.
And then you got like power, because the scale's really cool too, because it's got like the huge environments with just like giant beasts and things. Like it's definitely pretty cool. And
unique.
Definitely a lot of people seem to think Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is like the to-be story. Like that's the best one in terms of story and the characters and stuff. So definitely what I'm interested in. Will I play it when it comes out? Who knows? But it's definitely on my list of ones I want to pick up.
Depends when it comes out. Like there is a lot of good games out next year. Not coming to this console that we know of, but like moving on from what we can actually expect. Now we're kind of getting into like we literally don't know. So we've seen Breath of the Wild 2 at E3. Not that they're gonna they might call it 2. They probably will just give it a new subtitle of like the.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to tell what's better for marketing these days. I'm like, is it better putting a number on it or just a subtitle?
Yeah, I think numbers seem to be involved a lot more these days. So like Breath of the Wild 2, we see nothing apart from that initial thing they showed off, which showed the underground, showed something happening with what appears to be Ganondorf.
They did set a tonal precedent where I immediately went, okay, this is the Majora's Mask of the Ocarina of Time.
Which is what we all thought would happen.
Yeah, which is cool because I personally like the Majora's Mask aspect of the darker. It's much the Ocarina of Time. It to me it was much more appealing. And Breath of the Wild is like one of those games where it's like I enjoyed it. I didn't love it nearly as much as other people did, and that was mostly because of my inherent bias for other things Zelda had already done. So it's like, oh, this does this worse than what Zelda did in the past. As is this, which are all the reasons I played this series to begin with.
And here's a chance.
It was like the things I liked. The things I liked about Breath of the Wild were the things that were not Zelda beforehand. I was like, oh, this is cool. But
yeah, true.
All this stuff, like the dungeons, I'm like, if they nail the dungeons, fix the combat, because I did not like the fact that you're at
weapon breaking is annoying as shit. Cool concept. The concept was neat, but in practice, it's just annoying.
it's one of those ones that it worked for me for a little bit, and then I got sick of it. I'm like, what's the point of even fighting if everything's going to break all the time? I'd rather just keep it
and then I just
use it on the bosses, I guess.
I did not fight. I ran away from most encounters because why waste these weapons on something that seems meaningless? And I guess with the sequel, you already, if it's following on, you already have the Master Sword. Spoiler alert, the Master Sword's in a Zelda game. But, like, you now have this weapon which cannot break. So the question is, like, that was probably one of the most heavily criticized things of Breath of the Wild, apart from the dungeon thing, which now the game has its chance. It's got a chance to rectify that.
The combat, I'm not sure about, but the dungeons, I would be extremely surprised if they don't fix that, because I don't think anyone didn't criticize it. Like, maybe people said, 10 out of 10, maybe the dungeons could have been better. They're a bit repetitive, but I still loved it. I don't think anyone still didn't bring it up. Like, the dungeons weren't great.
Yeah,
I don't think any of them were great. Like, even if you just took one, even though the fact they were kind of repetitive, like, between all four, even the first one, I'm like, I'm not crazy about this mechanics and how it looks aesthetically. Like, nothing like previous Zeldas. Like, Zelda, I feel like, has had such an iconic shape to every dungeon. Like, Twilight Princess has probably got the most unique ones. But Breath of the Wild's dungeons were shit. And that's basically the reason I like Zelda's, because of the dungeons, and they were like the worst in almost any Zelda game I played.
I guess to shrine things were like seen as a replacement, like bite-sized.
That's how they kind of did it.
But
then the problem is they get too visually boring.
Yeah, it's like, I get why they did it, because it's easy to use this prepared area that you can just go like, what puzzle's this one? But it's like, the good thing about the temples, the dungeons, was like, every time you went there, they were nothing like anywhere you'd been, really, in the game beforehand. And they always throw, like, here's this interesting mechanic in here. It'd be interesting seeing how they do that with Breath of the Wild, assuming you can climb pretty much everything. You can't in the little shrines, though, so I guess that isn't as much of an issue, but it seems like the one thing they need to get right to make it be maybe well, some people would consider, if they fix dungeons, it might have been their favourite Zelda of all time.
It's certainly possible. I say if they go the Majora's Mask Darker Tone, fix the dungeons and the combat, it could be my favorite Zelda. They could get it to that level.
There's a possibility. There's a chance.
Will they do it? I don't know, but I honestly think there's a hype. I say the dungeons, they'll fix it. I'd be surprised if they don't fix the dungeons.
Yeah, well, it's underground and stuff. They already showed, like, it looks dark. Like, what's dark and gloomy? A dungeon.
Exactly. And Zelda, from all intents and purposes, seems like maybe they're gonna. I don't know if that was a critique so much as it's an observation. Like, maybe we should be able to play Zelda by this point, or have Zelda like part of the game in a more like.
If you play it on an emulator, there is mods to play as Link and Zelda. But like, the interesting concept could be like, is it co-op? Does one person play Link? Can someone else play Zelda? Like, that would be like the shift Breath of the Wild had would almost be like to that level. It's like, Zelda's co-op.
Oh, even I mean, think of like God of War Atreus, where it's like Zelda is linked to certain buttons. So it's like, oh, if you want to do like a magic barrier shield, push this button, and then Zelda pops out and does a magic barrier or whatever.
Yeah, I guess the real question is, when you're climbing, does she run out of climbing and fall?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Where you do have that problem. Or is it like Final Fantasy, and then just like she runs into you and like forms into like your equipment or something? Okay, oh yeah, why not?
Yeah, or
it's
like
a game.
Or it's Skyrim, where they end up falling off a cliff and dying on their own. Or they see a mountain, they go climb it. That's a shit.
You're a quick.
But yeah, like Breath of the Wild 2 is. That is its fault. Zelda's dead. Oops. There's so many mechanics and things they can do in Breath of the Wild 2 that can make it really. Like, it's going to be better than the first. I think you can almost say that. I think Breath of the Wild really blew you away on what, like, this is unlike anything we've seen before. And that goes to like all games. It's just, there are things that just make it weaker than other Zelda titles, which now has a chance to fix that. So here's hoping.
I mean, performance might be the only thing they can't fix. That might be an issue still.
Yeah.
Because it definitely
That's what I did.
Real frame
it took them ages. At launch, if you went through all those forested areas, it's like you're drowning in trees.
It's like you thought Dark Souls were bad. It's like Breath of the Wild, like at launch you go.
You thought Blighttown was the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that game. Breath of the Wild was my game of that year. By no means a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 game is not as flawed as Breath of the Wild is. As much as I love it, it's not perfect. So we can expect that maybe in 2020, if the expectation is the same engine, reuse the map, which they already seem to be doing, and just Majora's Mask it, which didn't take them long to make, from memory.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I can't remember if that was a 2-year turnaround. I think it might have been. Was it a year? No, it couldn't have been a year. Surely it was a year. It was a short turnaround time.
Yeah,
so
that's what we know. So
I wouldn't. Breath of the Wild is definitely on the cards for next year.
okay, for next year also, what do you think about other Zelda games? Are we going to get a remake? And if we do get a remake, or a re-release rather, what do you suspect they'll do?
Well, I mean, there's the ones they've already done, and that would be the most obvious ones. Do just release Wind Waker again. That's what they were doing with everything else for the Wii U.
Twilight Princess.
Just release it again. Twilight Princess, release it again. They didn't do a Skyward Sword, so they would have to do that and heavily modify the controls for it to work without the motion sensor stuff. Yeah, other than that, I could see them with Link's Awakening from this year. It's possible they might go to some more of the Game Boy Zelda games, where is basically the ones at least I haven't played. Like, I didn't play any of the portable Zelda games, so all those Oracle of Ages or whatever, all those ones, I haven't touched.
Yeah, neither.
That could be. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I very briefly played the Spirit Tracks one. I didn't like it though. But other than
DS
that,
games.
Yeah. So they could do some of that as well if they wanted to. But hey, man, once again, I think you can only release so much Zelda in a year. I think probably Nintendo wants a Zelda game every year, and Breath of the Wild might be the one for next year. I would be surprised if they do multiple. I mean, Candidates of Hyrule doesn't really count for this year. You can't really have
no, it
Candidates
doesn't. They count it just to sneak it in. They're like, oh yeah, it's a Zelda game. But like, yeah, for me, it would be re-release both Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, because you've already done the hard work there. And it's just like, people will be cool. Sense. I love Wind Waker. I really want to play Twilight Princess. I have the remake in my cabinet display Zelda thing. But if you put it on Switch, I'm more likely to play it, which I would like to do. So they seem realistic, the easy ones. Skyward Sword, they probably don't want to leave a Zelda behind. It just seems they want to move them all over, and that's what they seem to be doing with the Switch. And look, it makes sense, because Switch is their biggest selling platform in a very, very, very long time. Almost over 10 years since the Wii.
And it's basically just like, we put the effort in on the Wii U, that didn't work out, why not just modify it a bit, get it on the Switch? Makes sense.
Yeah, they've already done the work. Like, Tropical Freeze came out, and that was basically just a port with a new mode to make it easier for peasants. That's basically what we use from Zelda. Now we'll talk about a game that has been announced already, Bayonetta 3. Seeing nothing. Platinum are a very busy studio. They've always been a very busy studio.
They got Babylon Fall they're working on. That seems like it's the much closer of the two.
Nier Automata is definitely getting a sequel.
Yeah, you're right. That will have a sequel at some point. I haven't even really considered it until you mentioned it right then. I'm like, I doubt it's next year.
No.
I would say Babylon Falls are for sure next year thing, and that's their most soon title. I would expect Bayonetta 3 to be shown next year at E3.
I'd say so.
I don't think it'll come out. I think it'll come out the following year.
Yeah, it's a long wait, but Platinum, they're a busy studio. They've I guess Nier Automata was such a success. They weren't entirely prepared for okay, we'll make this. They don't really often make sequels. I'm like, Bayonetta's the weird one where they do.
Well, it was like a Square Enix property that was kind of had its cult following, but wasn't a big thing.
And
they're kind of like,
and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, let's give Platinum a chance to go with original creator and kind of do something with it, and it became a pretty big deal. So, there's no question there is a Nier Automata sequel coming. It's just, when is that? I'd say, with Babylon and Bayonetta, it's probably after that.
I'd say after, because it seems like they've already contractual obligations with definitely Nintendo would be make it a prime reason to keep it going, because they have a very good relationship with Nintendo, which is why Bayonetta 3 exists in the first place. So, Platinum will work on it. Is there an expectation for next year? I'm going to go with no. An expectation that is guaranteed, doesn't totally come out only on this console, but we're getting a Sonic game. There's a Sonic movie. There's a Sonic game. Whether it's Sonic Mania 2 or Sonic, Mega Forces.
It could just be called Sonic Unknown, honestly. That sounds like a game that would be real. Sonic Unknown.
Oh, it does too. Sonic Unknown. I can imagine
you gotta have
Crush 40 making a song for it.
Crush 40, of course, you gotta have the Crush 40 song, the flair,
Or get the lead singer from Hoobastank or whatever.
But yeah, Sonic Mania is the one I want. It's the one that I felt like at its core most like represented Sonic. Like this is what Sonic fans have liked. And I would like them to do less remake levels though. If they did a sequel, it wouldn't be like I can't remember the exact split, but I think it was like 9 old, 3 new. I'd like it if they did it now. I'd be like, here's and at least a 50-50 split. But I'd say almost the opposite direction would be better. Like 9 new stages, we've set the precedence that we know what we're doing. And here's 3 classic Sonic acts as well, or stage locations, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that.
With the movie, there could actually be just a horrible Sonic game that's tied into the movie in some way. That's I say more than possible.
Sonic boomed. The follow-up.
Sonic doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't have an exactly strong history of titles. Like there's a lot of shitty, very shitty games.
Every now and then it has a massive hit, like Sonic Mania, and just with the movie, it's just the fear is: are they rushing out a game to meet that release date?
I mean, it probably will have a pretty short cycle. I mean, there is the fact that the Sonic redesign was done by the artist for Sonic Mania. Like, he was involved in that redesign. So there is a possibility that there will be a 2D Sonic tie-in game utilizing that redesign Sonic.
Full credit to the Sonic Mania guys who are now getting like the attention they deserve because they made the best, if not the best Sonic game ever. And like,
they were making better games than the Sonic team were making.
Yeah,
because they were just fans. Most of the time it makes sense. It was like a fan is making these Sonic games. You know, they like all these aspects of Sonic, and then that's what they do. Where Sonic Teams is like, this might work. We don't know what kids are into these days. Let's make this. Where Sonic Mania was just straight out. This is for original Sonic fans who are
made
now
by Sonic
adults.
fans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like, it was always going to be good because fans know what they want from a game. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but with Sonic Mania, like, no, you can kind of see what Sonic needed to be, but something that Sonic team seemed to be stuck making the 2D, 3D kind of like you play as both in one thing. Because they're like, people obviously like what Sonic is, but we prefer what Sonic is to us now. And just,
just
make
a
decision.
I think they struggle to not want to do what they've done in the past, but also be nostalgic for the past, while also doing something new, but also not understanding what people want these days, and not having long development times, etc., etc. Like, just, I think a lot of issues that cause problems with Sonic, but you pretty much bank on there being some Sonic game this year. Oh, next year, so.
Next year, we're recording this the year before, the following year. That's very confusing. Now, sort of jumping back into Nintendo again with Metroid. Prime 4 is not happening next year. No way in hell. There's no expectation for that.
Like no chance for a release. I don't even know if there'll be a reveal. I don't know if they'll even show it.
I don't think they'll show anything. I mean, they gave it to Retro, who are now probably treating it as a brand new game, which a Metroid Prime game does take a while to make, especially a brand new one now.
It's funny though, because as I said, there's no way it'll be there. I literally went, but people love Nintendo, and if Nintendo wants to beat Sony and Xbox or Microsoft with their next-gen consoles, the easiest way to do that is just to announce games that aren't coming out soon, but have nostalgic IPs that are tied to them. So just go, here's Metroid Prime, here's a Mario Odyssey 2, here's this, that, and you just go, these aren't coming out for maybe 2 years, but people go, Nintendo won E3 because they announced all these random games that aren't coming out for ages. In that cycle, if Nintendo wanted to, I don't think they will. I think Nintendo just won't care this year. They'll go, whatever. It's Microsoft and Sony's year.
This year's out.
But if they wanted to have that E3 of Nintendo was the best conference or whatever, they could just do that. Just go, here's a Metroid Prime 4 stuff, just showing it off,
And then announce the Metroid Prime trilogy for Switch, which just seems like a natural fit.
Why not?
It makes sense.
With, everything else, it's just like we've got it. We could just upraise it a bit and release it, and it's good to go.
Yeah,
and you're building up anticipation for a future one. So why not do it?
Okay, well, here's my second thing. Because we saw Metroid 2 get a remake, do you reckon we might see Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening happen to one of the Metroid games?
Maybe. Because the problem with Metroid is it's always it feels like it has a big audience, but then it never sells that well. So it always feels like it's got these people who are really dedicated to that series, but it doesn't have that money-making ability that Zelda has. Where it's Zelda's we got to get one of these every goddamn year. Because it's just so much money on the table. Where Metroid's we could take a gap for 6-7 years or whatever it is before we release a new proper game. And and then it comes out and it's still not going to be the biggest game ever. Like it just doesn't have the Mario or Zelda appeal. Like it's a beloved series, but not nearly as beloved as those two are.
No, it's like the fan base is louder than they are. Like there are fans. They're like they make up for the lack of fans. I'm a fan of it, but like
it's almost like Shenmue, where it's like Shenmue's like have that super dedicated fan base that like seemingly are really loud, but I'm like it's got to be a pretty small actual fan base for Shenmue. I think Metro would be much larger than Shenmue's, but just
where it's just guaranteed
like,
that.
I don't think it's an impossibility, but I just if you think of the logic of like why Zelda remakes make sense to me, I'm like of course we got to have a Zelda game all the time, where Metroid's like they've taken hiatus for long periods of time with no Metroid games, and that hasn't been an issue. If anything, it's built up more anticipation for the next big one. So there's no, I don't think any necessary need to go like, we need to remake these old ones. But I don't know, they might want to. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, well, jumping into the big name of Nintendo consoles because it's been the biggest seller forever. It's Mario Kart. I know we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Do we think it's almost time for actual new one? Because Mario Kart for Wii U came out in 2014?
Yeah, that probably sounds about right.
So the game's quite old now. Well, it doesn't appear it, and the update on Switch has made it definitely improved. I think definitely Mario Kart is always a consideration of when is the next one, and what will the next one.
Yeah, it's just like Smash. It's like there's always like there's going to be another one.
There might not be another Smash now, though.
I think there will be. It's just I don't think you're going to have a Smash like this. You're not going to be able to get all the characters again. They're going to have to drop characters and get new ones or whatever. It could be time for Mario Kart. It's just hard to tell because it's hard to see what Nintendo wants to do for the Switch, where it's like, is Nintendo Switch the foreseeable future? Or are they going, we've got these other games to get out now because next year, 2021, we have, the Nintendo X system. And it's going to,
Nintendo Series X.
The next big thing. And then they go, now release that with Mario Kart. I feel like they're probably focusing on other things right now, and that there probably won't be a Mario Kart next year.
Yeah, like in my mind, like the Switch for the foreseeable future, unless something changes, like next year, I don't think there'll be another thing that isn't a Switch. I think they might just continue it. I think for Mario Kart, for me, the only evolution they can really make now is like just go all in on other characters, like other IPs, like more Zelda, added more F-Zero levels, Metroid.
When they put Link in as the DLC, that was the time I'm like, why have they not been doing this the whole time? I was like, why did they restrict themselves? I'm like, as soon as they put it in, I'm like, this makes way more sense. Just make it Smash Brothers or racing games. That seems like a much bigger pull.
Throw in Pokemon. Throw in a Pokemon track.
Like how excited people get for just a Smash character getting announced that's from some random other IP.
Do the same thing for Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart can do the exact same effect. Go, oh shit, that character's in here?
Whoa, no way. With their own track, their own items from that game. It's just like, seriously, I don't know why this isn't the case. Like, you can still be called Mario Kart. Mario is still the prime thing, but like, just add a Mega Man thing in, add a Sonic level, even though they have their own racing games.
They should learn from Crash Team Racing. Crash Nitro Fuel Kart. Whatever that full title is.
Nitro Refueled.
Nitro Refueled. Okay, so that game, Crash Kart, thingamajig, has every month free DLC. Like 5 new characters added and a whole new racetrack, plus all these other new mechanics and customization and all this other stuff. Free. Don't need to pay for anything. There is an economy system where you earn points and get that stuff or whatever. The point is, since that game launched, every single month there has been something new in that game. Every single month, without fail, still happening today for Christmas as well. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. And I would say Mario Kart would hugely benefit from that if they did the exact same thing. Now, do I think Nintendo would? No. Because Nintendo doesn't learn anything from anyone else. They just go, this will work. And they go, this studio did this like 10 years ago. Or whatever. They live in their own little bubble and then occasionally step out of that bubble. But most of the time, they're in.
What the hell is this? Get back in the bubble.
Yeah.
Get back to the bubble.
But, it's something really cool that Crash does and has continued to do since its launch. And Mario Kart did that as well. It'd be really cool as well.
And throw in one more thing from Crash. The story mode.
Yeah, that's true too.
Whatever that is in Mario Kart.
That's something they haven't...
They've never done it.
They've never bothered to do that. Yeah.
And it's one of Crash Team... it's Crash Racing's like... That's one of the coolest things about it. It's like got a full campaign with bosses and stuff. It's just... Nintendo could do if they had lots of different characters and stuff, they could do anything. And I'm sure it could be... Nintendo put effort into these things. Like, Mario and Rabbids, like that was there was lots of effort put into that. So why not make Mario Kart? Like, give it to another developer to do that aspect, then merge it into the final thing. Cause...
I mean, that definitely could be cool. I mean, like, Smash, it's weird, but it's still kind of, it feels cool. We're like, oh man, yeah, I like versing these bosses from other games, and like, it's like a big nostalgic board game of things. Yeah. Where it's like Mario Kart could do the same exact thing.
Definitely.
You go like, let's introduce other characters, or even just do stuff with the characters we already have. Like, here's the Mario Kingdom, you know, Bowser takes over or whatever, and stages a race course or whatever. You know? Essentially, take the Crash Racing stuff and just copy it. Just go like, oh yeah, they essentially had a race set up, a racing system, and they're all racing to take down Nitros. Nitrous oxide, the same thing.
Just do the opposite to, like, they took from Mario Kart, you take something back. Like, car races are cool, so I'm very glad that Crash Team exists. But yeah, Mario Kart could learn things from that game. And the drift system is so satisfying once you nail it. Talking about more Mario, like, I expect a Mario game of some description, whether it's a re-release of 3D World, or a 2D game being pushed forward, or Odyssey 2, which will not come out next year, so that's not really worked in this video's concept.
I don't know if there's many other things, or surprise things they can do. It depends. Like, they have other IPs, like there could be a Donkey Kong thing, you know. There could be an F-Zero thing. Like, there's all these kind of IPs they own.
No, they don't really touch a lot of time. Oh, F-Zero.
Exactly.
Donkey Kong gets a lot of love.
Every now and again, there's a game from a Kirby. I mean, there's a Kirby game this year, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
The one with the multiple Kirby's multiplayer thing.
Kid Icarus, you know, he hasn't had a game in a while.
Ice Climbers.
Something out for him.
1984 or 6 is the last Ice Climbers. Okay. The one and only.
I wonder if they go back to the really old catalogue, you know.
Ice Climbers is not worth revisiting. I can guarantee that now.
There'll be a Mario something. So if it's not Mario Kart, Mario Brothers, Mario Odyssey, you know, there'll be something. There's got to be a Mario game every year.
Yeah, he's already been to the Olympics this year, despite them happening next year. So, you know, there'll be Mario something. 3D World will be my guess. Or my complete and utter dream of Sunshine, getting either a remake or a sequel. Sequel is way more unlikely. I'm not getting this game. Why do you do this to me, Nintendo? I feel like an F-Zero fan. Oh, wait, I am an F-Zero fan. Damn it. Yeah, it won't happen.
Just like, I believe.
It sort of moves me on to, not GameCube games for the Switch, but 64 games for the Switch. Can we see that happening? Can we see Mario 64?
I think it's way more likely that they would release a mini, 64 mini or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to do a video on that. I still kind of do.
But I would say that's more likely to happen than them. I mean, there's no possibility that they'll just release 64 games as their online service thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm thinking, like, under that system.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they would remake any of them. If they remake any of them, it would be Mario 64. That would be the top of the
Yoshi Story.
And then Yoshi Story. I was going to say after that, probably Ocarina of Time. But I would say Mario 64 makes the most sense because it's, I think, easier for them to do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we've got these mechanics already nailed, you know, pretty much. Up-res it, good to go.
Up-res it, good to go. Get it out there. Where's Ocarina? I'll get that. Because I've already remade that. Do they release like a pack of... Like, I know we spoke about Zelda already, like a pack of Ocarina and Majora's just ported. And then one like, that'd be a really good combination.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things you'd like for them to redo. But,
Nintendo can do
most
of
the time. Most of the time, Nintendo, what they do is they just release new games that are similar to the old games. That in the same series, like, oh, here's another Mario game that's new but also very similar.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, like, there's lots of hype around Odyssey because it's like finally a 3D one like 64, which is sort of because no one ever mentioned Sunshine. I'm just pointing that out there. Its existence is tragic. Getting near the end, like, reckon new version of the Switch, like a Lite or a Pro, or a mention of what the next thing will be.
There's definitely got to be a Pro at some point. The fact. They always go both directions. So if like you got to make a portable smaller one, you got to make a more powerful bigger one. So with improvements they made, so make a bigger screen, smaller bezel, all this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Better controllers without the drifting or whatever. Joy-Con drift.
Joy-Con drift. It's not real. It's fake news apparently.
I would say that's going to happen next year.
Yep.
Yeah. Why not?
At least an announcement. At least an announcement. At the very least.
You got a new console then. You go, look, here's the Switch Pro, here's the PlayStation 5, here's the Xbox Series X.
We got one. It's just less powerful than for PS4 and Xbox One, but it's there. What happened to Labo? Do we think Labo's getting the cover?
Yeah, what did happen to that?
Is Labo
they never
dead?
did anything with it. I thought at the very least they would use it for a Smash thing, like make a Labo Smash thing.
Labo Boy. That's an old callback to an old
no.
video. No, they didn't.
Yeah, it's like
No Labo Boy.
no, they did nothing.
No Labo.
Such a shame.
Okay, just quickly, Star Fox.
Nah.
No. Maybe a re-release.
I think they killed that series for a while. There's not going to be stars.
Platinum did the
Unless
last one.
you're just releasing the old Star Fox games. I think any new Star Fox game is unlikely.
Or make a new one made up of the original and the GameCube one. It's not happening. What about an F-Zero? It's even more unlikely. I'm sorry, F-Zero. I know you're in Mario Kart now, so that's like... That's sort of it's tragic. It's stuck in another racing game forever now. It'll never be its own thing.
Forever
because, like,
and ever.
F-Zero's fan base is too small. F-Zero is a very difficult game. There's people who love F-Zero, but like not a lot of people really wanting one. Really.
And it's one of those things where like they very much focus on. It's like you don't have two fighting games on Nintendo. Like, oh, here's the Smash and here's some other Nintendo fighting games.
You don't have two racing games. You got Mario Kart. Mario Kart sells. They know that. It is their best selling thing.
Yeah.
Why have another one?
Yeah, it's like, it just makes more sense to just put F-Zero characters in that now.
Yeah,
that makes way more sense.
It's much more logical. F-Zero plays very different to Mario Kart, but maybe that's the problem. So unless you got anything to add, I think that's basically what we can expect for next year, which is mostly talking about things that won't be coming out next year.
That's pretty much it. It's like mostly just guesses and go, yeah, these are all possible. It could also be 3 games that or whatever we said at the start, and that's it. Like, of course there will be other games that year, and there will be surprises. There always is, but
there always are. But
I fully expect that Nintendo will be just kind of there next year.
Okay.
It's going to be PlayStation and Microsoft's here next year.
Every now and then they'll go,
duking
look
it
at
out.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we can expect a lot of anticipation, a lot of guessing, a lot of assumptions. But hey, that's what this sort of video is about. Thank you for joining me, Russell.
No problem.
I've been Mitch. This has been Playing with Pixels. If you liked it, YouTube stuff, you know what to do. You get told that every video you watch on YouTube. Like it. Apparently that does something for the algorithm. I don't really know. No one really knows the algorithm. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again. Goodbye.
Let's go.